following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good.
Hi, Tom.
How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Edge. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. The people who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Well, good morning. I'm Paige Clarke, and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, natural, wild world.
Yes, to recover our natural health and regain our rights and freedoms. And I'm Nico Haan. Good morning.
And it is a beautiful day in downtown Clearwater, 78 degrees, sunny, partly cloudy, and a little sunny. Maybe we'll get one of those nice afternoon summer showers.
Indeed, we will.
And I want to make sure you remember to subscribe to our newsletter, Health Signals, and pick up some of our Primal Edge Daily Nutrition, which you can get in the Tiger's Den if you're a listener to TFNN.com and use your Tiger's dollars. Otherwise, you can subscribe and get it monthly on auto ship and save. So make sure you
big
take
time.
That's right.
The number here is 877-927-6648.
And you can reach me if you have any questions or opportunities or ideas for the show at Paige at TFNN.com.
And also Nico at TFNN.com.
Hey, Nico, I've got a guest.
Okay.
I'm going to be introducing her in just a minute. But one of the reasons I wanted to invite my guest here today is I got a news thing went through the feed regarding some feminine stuff. And my guest, she's a diva, and she's got a website called GetYourDivaBack.com, Juliana Dennis. She'll be with us in just a minute, and I'd like to introduce her. But, you know, what kind of prompted it was this news, and she had contacted me about this very subject, and I said, wow, what's serendipity?
Yeah.
You know, maybe we need to talk about this. But this article came through the Alliance for Natural Health USA. A new bill in Congress pushes for more transparency and is definitely needed when it comes to feminine hygiene products.
Yeah, it's interesting because they label these as medical equipment or devices, and that states that you don't really have to tell people some of the dangers that might be in these products.
Isn't that ironic?
Yeah.
That's so ironic. And they recently introduced a bill called the Menstruation Products Right to Know Act. And it makes awful good sense, folks. If we need to be aware of these GMOs, we have a right to know what's in our food. We need to know what's in our sanitary products. You know, anything that has the ability to
be on your skin,
be
inserted, things like this, and is really important. One of the things I noticed on here that a lot of these products, especially the tampons, have fragrances. They are pure white, so they must be bleaching these things.
They're bleaching them. They're putting estrogenic type of compounds. I mean, A to Z. And our guest is going to be able to give us a lot of good information about that. And I'd like to introduce Juliana Dennis. Juliana, are you out there? Juliana Dennis.
So much.
Hey there, and I can hear you now. How are you?
Fantastic. Well, I wish it was sunny. I am in D.C. We're having a little rainy day here, but you're making me homesick from hometown Clearwater.
That's right, darling. Well, listen, we've got your pretty picture up there so everyone can see your sexy little self. You get your diva back. Let me tell you a little bit about Juliana Dennis is first and foremost my friend. She is a wellness coach that works with women's empowerment issues. She has a passion for helping women with their health at all ages. And she has her website. It's called Get Your Diva Back. Make sure you guys connect with her, get on her list. And she really offers complete transformation beauty services and health services, and she likes to be a connector. And this is how we ended up talking about this female health issue. She contacted me because she knows I have daughters, and she knows I also am very concerned about wellness issues for everyone. Incidentally, Juliana, maybe you want to share a little bit of your female hygiene issue that had health hygiene issue that you had that was dangerous for your health. Go ahead and give us a little more information about how you got so inspired to be, you know, a beacon of light to these things that we need to be aware of.
Thank you, Paige. Yes, I am extremely passionate in educating women on this because I have had firsthand experience on suffering from a product, that was sold out in the marketplace where we did not know the dangers, and thousands of women suffered. So I am a victim of the Delkin Shield IUD, and I actually ended up having an ectopic pregnancy. I almost died. I went on to becoming completely infertile, but thankfully I have a wonderful son through adoption, so I'm very grateful for that. But I suffered ectopic pregnancy, PID, and endometriosis, all from a product, that we did not know. We did not know the dangers about. And then why I'm so passionate, again, about the topic that we have today is that the feminine products that I was using was just exacerbating the PID and the endometriosis, which I suffered from terribly. In addition to that, I have lost 2 very close friends in the last 5 years to ovarian cancers. So I have just made this my mission and a women's, to jump on a women's awareness campaign. I'm a member of a group, and it's called Now We Know. And it really is, it's empowering women and educating that they do have a choice. Number one, and educating them on the dangers, and then also educating them on they do have a choice for a natural solution. So I do have a natural solution for women that will be healthy and also give additional benefits as well.
Oh, well, we're going to learn a little bit more about that. So if you heard before we got you on the line, we just had a recently introduced bill called the Menstrual Products Right to Know Act, which requires companies to provide a detailed list of everything in menstrual products. Isn't that kind of ironic that we haven't done that already? I mean,
ironic, but unfortunately not surprising. Absolutely not surprising. And that's why when you shared with me this act, I was so excited about promoting that and getting everyone to call the legislature and call the senators, because this is something that absolutely needs to be passed. I also was just so excited about coming on today because I do have detailed information about the chemicals and the process. And that's why today I want to educate everyone on those details, and so they're really aware and to be able to inspire others to go out and share this message.
Well, you know what? 50% of our listeners are women, and the other 50% are men who love women, mothers, daughters, wives, etc. Here's a report from Women's Voice for the Earth found that feminine care products may contain a wide array of scary chemicals. For example, tampons may contain dioxins and furans from the chemical bleaching process, just exactly what you said, Nico, pesticide residuals, and unknown fragrant chemicals. And we know that fragrances are really very estrogenic and carcinogenic. And the pads may contain adhesive chemicals in addition to pesticides and byproducts. So we're going to go into detail on this, Juliana. We've got to take a short break here, so please stay on the line and as you said, take us down the rabbit hole on this a little bit.
Will do.
Okay.
Thanks, Paige.
Yeah, and of course I'm from the other side, only experienced what you guys are talking about from being a companion to a woman. And I know how sensitive women are, especially in those areas, and just on the skin alone with makeup and everything back, very confusing for me.
Yeah, so we're going to clear it up a little bit. We'll be right back after this short break.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Trading is different than investing, but the opportunity to take advantage of short-term trends is only one if you get the direction right. Direction leveraged and inverse ETFs offer bold trades on U.S. and international stocks and bonds. Direction leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we have on the phone Juliana Dennis, who's a wellness coach out of Washington, D.C., and has a website called Get Your Diva Back, Become the Best You, Total Makeover Services, which is really cool. One of the things is I know is that anything that comes in contact with your skin will land in your bloodstream because it gets absorbed and distributed throughout your body. So anything that you put on your skin, like makeup, using tampons and pads and things like that, it's as if you're eating it in a way because these toxins will get to you. So this is why this is so important. One of the things, too, is your skin is the largest organ and also the thinnest. So that's not much separation there between you and the environment. Although it protects us from different things, I don't think anywhere in the biological record have we ever used as much on our skin as we have in the last 50 years.
That is so true. Juliana, you know, you're also an esthetician and skin expert. That's a motto you have. If you won't eat it, don't put it on your skin, right?
Absolutely, and that was one of the things I really wanted to bring out. Being an esthetician, I know about the dangers of anything you put on your skin, and I'm constantly teaching people, yes, the skin is our largest organ, and anything that you put on the skin is directly introduced into your bloodstream. And in fact, it's more dangerous than if you were actually to eat a compound, because we have enzymes in our saliva and enzymes in our digestive system that break down toxins and chemicals and then can be flushed out. But when you're applying it to your skin, it's going directly into your bloodstream.
That's a terrific point.
Let me ask you a question.
Less than a tenth of an inch, our skin, it's so thin.
So let me ask you a question. Are you doing these coaching things one-on-one, or you do it in group sessions? How does this work?
Actually, I'm doing both. I'm doing one-on-one sessions. I'm also doing group and doing seminars as well. So I will come out and speak at a seminar group setting, or also do one-on-one coaching.
Yeah, I like the idea. You were telling me, Juliana, that you're planning some wellness retreats, right? Where
absolutely, some boot camps. Yeah,
boot camps, so women can go, or you can set things up. They come in and spend 3 or 4 days with you, and they can custom do it. It's very interesting. We're very excited to see how you develop these things,
Another
Thank
question.
You.
Another question I had was, do men also get involved in this with their spouse?
Absolutely. For this Now We Know campaign that I have been associated with, well, first I want to talk about two letters. You may have been talking about Get Your Diva Back, but with this Now We Know campaign of the awareness of the dangers of feminine products, we have found that it's almost 50% of men have been sharing this awareness campaign because it's the women they love, their daughters, their sisters, their mothers. So men are definitely involved. And it's getting back to Get Your Diva Back. I actually have my first male client, and I will be coming up with a little bit. It'll be a link on that website called Get Your Swagger Back.
That'll be fun. That sounds like fun. Well, I know that you always put wonderful things together. I think it's going to be a great thing. Getting back to this topic, though, that we so appreciate you sharing with us and your insight and the work of this movement. Now We Know, and it's actually no, N-O, instead of like the word no, because they're saying now we're going to say no to these chemicals, right?
Exactly. And one thing that I want to bring up again about when we're talking about the skin, I mean, the feminine products and the chemicals, and I'm going to go into my story about, how I heard about it and actually what feminine products are made of, because I don't think women know. But while we're talking on the subject of skin, you have to think about it that all these toxins are amplified because they are sitting right next to our vagina, which is a direct entryway to the bloodstream. And it goes right into our circulatory process throughout the entire body. So it makes it even more dangerous than, let's say, if we were putting our chemicals just on our wrist or whatever. It's, again, a direct entryway into our body. And
probably one of the most sensitive areas ever, I would think.
Absolutely. And some of the women, really have suffered a lot of allergic reactions to this. So that's why I want to go into a little bit more, again, detail about how feminine pads are currently made and some of the chemicals that they have, and then some of the problems that can happen with all these chemicals. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about a natural solution that I have as well. So I did not know that feminine pads are basically made out of old newspapers and magazines. So, when you take all your newspapers down for recycling, that is what you are wearing, women are wearing. I mean, they literally take old newspapers with all the strong inks and chemicals on newspapers and magazines. And then to come out to that beautiful snowy white it's such a misconception, because they are recycled and bleached with chlorine and chemicals, which is really, really dangerous. So there's a couple levels of why they are dangerous. Number one, these are so heavily bleached, they're giving out off the chemical dioxin. Very, very dangerous. Not only that, when they do use some of the cotton to produce these pads, they are using a cotton that is basically from a GMO crop. And not only that, they have been using pesticides called furan. So you're absorbing, it is literally called a chemical soup of chemicals, from dioxin, chlorine, furan, and then not even mentioning all the, like you said, Paige, all the chemicals. And I'm going to read off a few other 18-letter words here for you. Polypropylene, propylene glycol, and polyethylene. Lovely things I don't think that you really want next to your skin and ingesting into your body. Not to mention the chemical adhesives as well that they're using. So when you're using the sanitary pads, it's like basically having like 4 plastic bags next to your skin, and your body is ingesting all these chemicals. So some of the dangers certainly is really, as you know, and I'm sure you have educated your listening base, is just the overall toxicity dangers, but also where it's contributing to cancer, birth defects, hormone disruption, certainly vaginal dryness, even infertility, fibroids, allergic rash, and more. So it has a plethora of health dangers using all these chemicals. So I had no idea. I never really even something I'd not even thought about. And so when I heard about this, I said, this is something that I really want to get behind and educate women and also offer a natural solution. So I did find a natural solution that I do share with other women, and that people, when you contact me, I can share that product. And I found something unique as well, that the product that I found also has a negative ion strip.
Well, that is very interesting, and we're going to want to hear the details about this solution, because we have a problem, we need to have a solution, and we're going to take a short break. Juliana, stay with us, and let's learn a little bit more of how we can, save our loved ones and ourselves from these toxins.
We'll be right back.
Sounds great.
Back. Just a minute.
We'd like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back. We're talking to Juliana Dennis, GetYourDivaBack.com. Juliana, so we've talked about the fact that you could be absorbing GMOs through your feminine hygiene products. You could be absorbing pesticides and toxic estrogenic carcinogenic compounds. We've always heard about toxic shock, which is a result of bacterial probably reacting to toxins as well. And tell us what you know about. There's some safer alternatives. Tell us what you're very excited about.
Absolutely, because that was the first thing that I thought of. Okay, if we have this problem, then what is the solution? And I was very, very excited to be connected with someone who told me about a product that is just being launched on the market in the U.S. as we speak. It is a completely organic product that is made out of cotton that has not been used with pesticides or GMOs of purine, so completely organic cotton. And it is manufactured much differently than conventional feminine pads, offering a tremendous amount of additional benefits. For instance, let me go into a little bit of detail about that. For one thing, it is extremely absorbent. It's actually 10 times the absorbency rate. So women who have normally used tampons, which are extremely dangerous. I hope there's one thing that you can walk away from today is that please, that people listening will not use tampons. Think about it. You are putting up a chemical stick directly into your vagina. Yeah. So number one, with this pad, it is so absorbent that women are using much fewer pads than they normally would. So that's number one.
But that's scary because, Juliana, let me stop you right there. When you say that, we naturally think about all these super high absorbent chemical compounds, but they've got some different technology, right? You're going to tell us more about that. How is it more absorbent yet not toxic? That's interesting.
So they use number one, there's 8 layers to this pad. And so they use a natural absorbency, and I don't have the actual name for it, but it is very, very natural and non-toxic type of cotton and material that it holds much, much more absorbency. In fact, they do a demonstration where they pour 50 mils of water into the heaviest pad that's on, like an overnight pad that's on the market today, and then they put it on this pad, and it captures 100% of the moisture. So women, not only that, they're not having any accidents. But what I love is about the way it traps, so it draws all the moisture to the mid-level of the pad. So the top of the pad is completely dry, even a used pad. So you're not having all that bacteria, next to your skin. Mm-hmm. So it is drawing away all the moisture, holding it in the middle of the pad. The one thing about this pad that, to me, is the most unique and which I'm most excited about, in addition to the fact that it is an organic pad, is that it has a negative ion strip in the center of the pad. And for those of you who have studied negative ions, you will know that negative ions are wonderful, that we find them in nature next to a waterfall, on the beach in Florida.
Right, connecting to the earth.
Absolutely, connecting to the earth. And what they're doing, of course, is increasing circulation to the body. They also actually repel bacteria. So with this particular pad, again, you're not having all that bacteria next to your skin, and it also has a direct correlation with odor. You don't have the pungent odor that you normally have, with this. But with the negative ion strip, one thing that negative ions do is it oxidizes. I'm going to get a little technical here, but we'll get to the end result. It actually oxidizes serotonin faster. And that has a direct correlation to sensitivity of pain and also to your mood. So with this negative ion strip, what it has the potential to do is possibly reduce any cramping, pain, bloating, and also the PMS mood as well with this negative ion strip.
And that's very interesting, very much. And those things make sense because there's a lot of studies that show, a walk on the beach, getting outdoors, getting that connection to the magnetic field is very healthful in a lot of ways. So that's an interesting feature that they've built into this. I think that's very interesting.
One of the things I think about, of course, our ancient ancestors had many rituals and things like that about menstruation, and that, I think, educated the population. Today, the first time I remember anything about pads, I would think I was 9 years old, and I asked my dad, "What's that?" And he says, "Oh, that's for your mom," and that's the way it was dropped.
Right.
So the education for a young boy was very little, even though we had a pretty progressive family that educated us in many other things. It wasn't in that part of it, and even when my dad told me the facts of life, I was kind of just going, "Okay, that sounds great," and see you later. It was my girlfriend, one of my first girlfriends, that told me about it. That's how I got my education.
Right.
And then, of course, trying to have sex with a girl, "Oh, it's not the right time." "What do you mean? I have no clue." And then you start getting the picture. But it's a slow progression. So nowhere in our modern society do we educate the men, and I don't know about the women, of course. This is a big problem. I know in the ancient world there was lots of rituals, and then starting with the Egyptians, they started using different things. When I look at the history of tampons and look at the history, it goes back thousands of years. But that's because we were in a more of an industrial type of situation. So all these things that we're using, the tampons and these things, were made out of many different products. This sounds like the best idea yet, but I think education, and especially for the men, also as a whole, we really need that education about how this comes about, and very early in life, I think. And I think that, for me, that was missing. I was confused for many years.
Well, I think that's great that the men, the men have gotten really involved in this movement. Is that right, Juliana?
Absolutely, because the women in their life, they want to keep their natural protectors, right? For the women in their life, their children, their wives, and they want to keep the women in their life safe that they love, and so they have really embraced this product to be able to make sure that their daughters, and their wives are using something that is healthy, and it's not going to contribute to illness. And again, excited about the negative ion strip. They were laughing. They were saying, that time of the month, we don't have to go hide from someone who was having some PMS mood symptoms. So they were joking about that as well.
Well, Juliana, I think it's wonderful that you're bringing this, helping to be part of the launch of this product. We want our people to be able to connect with you, connect with Juliana Dennis. She can tell you all about it. I think you can get the product shipped directly to you. Get your diva back, Juliana Dennis. I so appreciate you calling in this morning.
Thank you so much. You can text me if my phone number is there. It's 727-430-2683. So you can call or text anytime, and love to be able to give you more information.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next time, honey.
Nico.
Thanks for calling in.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good call. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living at Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back. That was a great interview, Paige. One of the things I remember we had talked about our ancient ancestors and how the women naturally would menstruate all at the same time. That's usually what happens in workplaces and big families.
Well,
and
again,
things like
circadian biology.
Right.
When we follow the natures, the magnetics of the earth, the electricity of the sun, our bodies get into a synchronization.
Right.
That was probably great for...
Well, it was great because I think the women kind of went off for a few days together. And I always see that as a bonding experience, also a little relief from the men, let's say, and the men like it because they're off doing their own little thing. So I think those kind of traditions are really important. But I wanted to kind of go over a little bit of history because it's not as modern as we think. If we go back to just our ancient world.
And we're talking, this is an interesting article that Nico just found, the history of feminine hygiene products. It kind of finishes with what we're talking about.
So Egyptian women used to use softened papyrus for tampons. In Greece, tampons were rigged out of lint wrapped around the small pieces of wood. In Rome, pads and tampons were made of soft wool. In other parts of the world, they used paper, moss, wool, animal skins, grass, things like that to absorb the flow. So we think that tampons are kind of a modern thing, but really 2,000 years ago.
The concept of it was something that they realized, hey, it would be a little bit easier if I wasn't making a mess here walking around. However, notice many of these things were natural things. And, then what made us think that we had to put all these toxic petrochemicals in it?
Well, they made it for profit and for easy manufacturing. That's
right.
Yeah.
But then you almost wonder, well, why is that? I mean, it's just hard
it's
to think.
because it's a man-dominated world and really no concern about what's in these products. And a lot of it is education that we didn't know that these products would hurt us until we started looking under a microscope and say, hey, what's going on here?
Right.
So we were kind of in the dark. But the people, tampons, like Juliana said, something that as a man would think, that probably, I wouldn't shove that up my butt, in other words, because it's traumatic. and with the chemicals, it makes it even worse.
Right.
So,
well, it just makes sense. I mean, I just want us all to take a look here.
Well, for a lifestyle change, I mean, that's a no-brainer. It's much better for a lifestyle.
It's about being conscious. The whole purpose of this conversation is, how have we gotten so far away from common sense?
Well, remember,
why do we allow this stuff in our food? Why would we allow it on our skin? Why would we put it into an orifice?
Remember, we're a type of lifestyle that we have to go to work. We have to go to school. So we can't take 3 days off because you have your period anymore. These are the traditions that we used to have, and now you can't do that anymore. So what do? Well, you have to do it somewhere, and the easiest way is a tampon because it's up out of the way. You don't think about it. Fine, you're done. And it makes sense.
Right.
But it's not so. This is kind of the modern dilemma that I think about, just like the education of our modern self. I mean, when we're in a tribal situation, everybody's in it together, everybody learns together. Here we're isolated. And my dad says, well, that's your mother's. Not explaining to me how the body works. Great opportunity, Dad. He missed it. And he missed it because our society is shaped the way it is.
There you go. I mean, there's certain things that we just don't talk about, and we need to talk about it. We need to talk about what's in our food. So it's kind of funny. This article says, okay, so ancient Egyptian goods to the 1839s wasn't a lot of innovation here. Not really sure what we were doing, but heck, we were wearing so many clothes, those big dresses.
Well, remember, Charles Goodyear invented technology, vulcanized rubber. He used this as kind of a womb veil.
Yeah,
he also,
kind of the diaphragm and the,
of course,
and the,
Goodyear,
and
he's into rubber.
Yeah. So in the 1850s, there were a lot of little contraptions that never really made it to market. So then we got into 1873. There was an act called the Comstock Act, and it was passed making it a federal crime to distribute or sell pornography or conception-related material in the United States. Yeah. So it was it became, the birth control industry kind of went underground. And
when they coined that term, feminine hygiene.
Yeah, feminine hygiene became a new word so that they could get around these restrictions.
So they could advertise it.
And then it was in 1896, Lister's Towels, the first commercial sanitary pad, went on sale. It was produced by Johnson & Johnson. And it was named for Joseph Lister, who was a pioneer in sterile surgery. And it was arguably too avant-garde for the prudish times. They sank like a proverbial rock. People weren't interested in them.
That's simple.
And then the early 20th century, most American women were just making their own homemade pads, often made out of bird's eye or cotton material that they used for babies' diapers.
Yeah, they would pin these cloths or rags to their underwear or homemade muslin belts. Sanitary aprons and bloomers were available by mail. Boy, oh boy. Then 2011, Midol was introduced. This was really a remedy for headaches.
That was all the way back in 1911.
Yeah, this for menstrual. So, World War I, nurses in France realized that the cellulose bandages they were using for wounded soldiers absorbed blood much better than the plain old cotton. And they started using these.
So that was during the World War.
First World War, yeah.
So it was 1920s that Kotex was a combination of cotton and texture landed in stores. So the disposable pad was born. And then Kimberly Clarke encouraged store owners to display the Kotex on their counters.
Ooh, boy. This neatly sidestepped the need for any customer to actually say the words sanitary napkin or administration out loud. They could just point to the box, I guess, and say, I want some of those.
I need some of those.
Yeah. I remember the first time I walked into a store and asked for
and then in the 27s and the 30s, competition came in. There was the Modest. And then in the 30s and the 60s...
that's Kodak's main competitors.
Oh, my gosh, listen to this.
What?
In 1930 to 1960, for years, Lysol disinfectant was used as a female contraceptive. Holy cow.
That's pretty strong.
As well as a kitchen and bathroom cleanser. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Even though it didn't actually prevent pregnancy, the ads touted it as a feminine hygiene product for married women.
And remember, that Lysol in those days was concentrated. That's, you're probably deluded.
It was a code for birth control. A similar brand, Zonite, played on women's fears of feminine odor. And then in the 1930s, there was a woman named Lenola Chalmers. She patented and produced the first reusable menstrual cap. Yet after the advent of disposable products, not many women wanted to handle their own blood when they could simply flush or throw it away. And, the menstrual cup has kind of made a comeback as an option to use instead of...
There's a picture of it here.
Yeah. And it was, probably produced out of latex. It was vulcanized rubber.
Sounds messy to me.
Yeah, well, but they've actually become more
popular.
Yeah, the history of the menstrual cup has kind of come back at it. And then it was in 1931 that the tampon patent was filed. And it was incorporated with an applicator and a tube design. And there began probably maybe those early ones weren't so toxic because they didn't have all the chemicals that we have today.
I think toxic only in a traumatic sense of inserting something, especially younger women, perhaps even virgins and things like that. It makes it much more difficult, I would think.
Well, the 1950s brought up, So numerous brands came, the pursettes, these abilities to keep the tampon kind of discreetly in your purse. And then it was in the 50s that the Catholic Church, adamantly opposed to artificial birth control, he announced that the church would sanction the rhythm method. So, all of this was impacting, and then the cups got popular, and then the next thing you know, we had birth control, and, we started to use these new pads, less pads, and here we are today. Today, they're just a toxic soup. But we've learned that we're kind of coming back around and trying to make sure that we're not introducing more toxins to our body in our food and in our sanitary hygiene products. We'll be back shortly.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV. But if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Up next, 9 before 9 with John Logan on TFNN.
So welcome back. I told you a little bit about my history and how I learned about administration, mostly through girls that I hung out with, girls that were open enough to not be ashamed and cowl in the corner and say, hey, no, this is what happens. And, I felt very good about that type of education. What happened in your household? How did you, of course, you had your period and that's how it started, but did you have education before that about it? And
it's really funny. I was the oldest. I had a very open family, so there was not anything. However, I will tell you that I think it's important to alert little girls, because I remember I was in like 7th grade. Okay. And I started my period. I don't really remember that first one, but you're not really used to it. So the second one, I can still remember this day like it was yesterday. Oh. The second one, I was wearing hip hugger baby blue pants. and I was going to my second hour class, and I dropped a pencil, and I bent down, and I realized that I had a really bad accident happening. And didn't really know what to do. Walked right in. The teacher just wrapped her poncho around me. And sent me to the office.
To the office?
Yeah. To go home. It was necessary to go home, but you didn't have that sensation. Wasn't aware.
Right.
It just, I don't know why I didn't realize it, but I got a whole day off from school.
That was always good. So did your parents?
But I wasn't very traumatized.
Was there anything before you had your period, a little education from your mother that this was coming? That type of thing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, my mom was a nurse, so she always gave us a lot of a head start. But I think a lot of these products, we mentioned the thing about the odor. First of all, if you're healthy, there shouldn't be odor.
No, of course.
However, odor is a sign that there's something wrong. But the other point is
remember
that
in this country, even in the whole Western world, odor of any kind, even the healthy odor of a human being without using any deodorant is a normal thing that we don't smell.
Yeah.
So any kind of smell, we go, so we're really not privy to the natural odors anymore either.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's an interesting picture. I just looked at that, that you have on the telestrator. But in any case, my real purpose for this discussion today, Nico, is it's not just about the tampon. What I'm wanting to talk about here today is let's not walk around with eyes wide shut. No more eyes wide shut. We've got to start paying attention to, is the information that we're getting in our best interest, or is it because it benefits a multinational corporation? And these products of convenience that are manufactured with these unscrupulous products, these toxic chemicals, they are not in our best interest. And we have to, as I'm very intrigued with the idea of that program. Now we know, and the word is not KNOW, but no. Now we say no. We say no to your toxic products. Yeah. And the only way this is going to change is if we vote by choosing not to buy these toxic products, and then they'll be forced to change.
Yeah, I think all these products should be free, first of all, to women. I think that's part of our health care system. Should be products to make you healthy should be given to
I don't know if I agree with you on that, but that's okay. I'm not as, I don't know if that's, I think they should be reasonably affordable.
Well, I think our society should set us up to succeed health-wise, not monetary-wise. Health-wise, we need to succeed. For that, we need to have a better system of having our food and having these products that we need to remain healthy. And it should be for everybody, not just people who can afford it. Imagine.
But where do you draw the line on some of those things?
I draw a line on everything. I think everything should be free, but that's just me. Then we can do, enjoy life. That's what we're put on this earth for.
Well, I think that'll be fun to talk a little bit about with the healthcare stuff. Let's do a show on that a little bit and get some feedback. Anyways, thanks for sticking around, folks, and have a wonderful day and be healthy.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.